Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Soul, Light, and Body. Today is such a beautiful day, and I hope that you're having a good day because we are here again and we need to give some sort of gratitude for being here. And it's a happy Friday. And we have an amazing returning guest, Angelique Ingram. When we started the show, she was the first person who sat with us and helped us with the show to start off the show in March of this year. And she's returning with us because on her journey, there is so much things that is happening for her, some great stuff that is happening for her. And she's here to share some of that great stuff with us and to help us to understand also that when we practice mindfulness, so much things could happen in our lives. Our lives could change because we go on that frequency and amazing things could happen for us. So we just want to welcome her once again back to the show. Angelique, welcome again once again to the show. I'm Karen Pascal. I'm a holistic health and wellness coach and a co-author of two ebooks with my sister Joan Williams. So I'll now hand you over to Miss Joan Wilkins. Joan?
Hello, hi, good evening. Happy Friday to all. And it's a wonderful day. It's a great time of year. Let's show ourselves some compassion. Let's show ourselves some love. And also be share love with others as well, so that we can live this thing called life in a smooth and a much easier way. Because so much happens every day. So my name is Joan Williams, holistic health and wellness coach, and also co-author two ebooks with Karen as well. And this evening, it's special for us because when we decided to start this show, we got to start thinking about who we're gonna get our guests and try to talk to people. And we approached Angelique, and you know what? She didn't even hesitate. She said, "You girls, this is your cause. This is what you guys are doing. Just clear out the format for me, and I'm all in." And she said yes because like sometimes there is the show say yes to the dress.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Angelique said yes. She didn't even, flinch or anything. She just said yes because she stand behind what we're trying to do here. And so, Angelique,
Yes,
welcome.
ma'am.
We have to give you your flowers.
Welcome,
Oh,
Angelique.
thank
Happy.
you. Thank you so much, ladies. And welcome to whoever's watching and tuning in with us today. Um, you're right, Joan. It's like I knew. I mean, as soon as we spoke, I knew you ladies just had that we just had that connection, right? We just had that same energy, and it was just we were bouncing things off one another, and it just the flow of it was just so nice and comfortable. And of course, I'm not going to hesitate to come on your show, and I'm so grateful and honored to be the first guest on your show. So thank you so much for
Thank
choosing
you.
me and reaching out to me. And here we are again. Hopefully, we're going to continue these journeys together for many, many more.
Yes, we will. We will.
Thank Yes, yes. We
Great.
thank you.
I sent you the link, Angelique, in LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, sorry.
no, 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 that's okay. We know that it's so much months after March. So we're just going to give you a recap of Angelique, and she's doing so much things more, which we'll discuss later in the show. Angelique Ingram is a holistic health practitioner, author, mindfulness coach, and founder of Mindfulness Journey to Freedom, where she helps clients to overcome challenges in real relocation. Aside from her work with the expat community, she also volunteer with myastic support and understanding organization, helping to bring more awareness to myastic, and also which is a rare immune disease, and which is something that she also encounter herself in 2000. So, Angelique, welcome, and we're happy to have you here.
Thank you once again, ladies. It's so nice to be back. And Tom in the background, can't forget him. He's doing some great technical work back there. So, yeah. So thank you all. As Joan said, yes, I am a holistic health practitioner and the founder of A Mindful Journey to Freedom. And I've also volunteer with the Myositis Support and Understanding Organization, which is a new volunteer group that they established in 2015, but I just recently came on this year as a volunteer, and I moderate support groups with mindfulness discussions and how it can really help with the chronic pain, because I myself am a myositis patient. I was diagnosed with dermatomyositis, if you can say that again, but it's a long word. But back in 2002, and it's a muscle wasting rare disease, and it's absolutely devastating. And going through all of that is really what brought me to my mindfulness practice. Having been thankfully acquired full remission in 2004, I was able to get out of the wheelchair that I had been in for 18 months or so and learn how to walk again, regain my strength, and even be able to, eat solid food. So it was a very dark journey, but a blessing at the same time, because had I had not gone through that, I really don't think I'd be where I'm at today, because it really pushed me towards a more holistic perspective of lifestyle. And that goes through everything, through mindfulness and being more self-aware of how I'm impacting my own life and how I can create a better life and invite more happiness and peace for me. So it's been a long journey, and I'm just grateful for it. And I hold gratitude every day for like the simple things that, at one point I wasn't able to do, like get out of bed by myself, or, take a shower, brush my hair, take a walk, all these things that we take for granted sometimes through life. It's these little small blessings I'm always grateful for. And so now I'm able to help and empower others through this, the MSU organization, and also, make the connections to inspire and just support one another, like we do here with Joan and Karen. We're always here to support each other. So, yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
wonderful.
too, Angelique. Thank you. Thank you.
Sharing your story. What was some of the strength? Where did you draw your strength from? I know you practice modalities and so forth, but what was the main thing that really kept you going, even though you were in a wheelchair? You said for 18 months, correct?
Yes.
Right. Where did you pull that draw that strength from that kept you going and that not giving up and being in that stress level?
Yeah, it was up and down a lot for me, being in chronic pain 24/7 all the time, and not being able to eat, solid foods. I was having to, drink protein shakes, and I felt like my life was just over. But with the support of my parents and the nurses and doctors that I worked with, I was working at a pediatrics office at the time, and I worked under 8 or 9 doctors, and they supported me just so immensely. And I was just so grateful that, they would come over to my place and they would help make my lunch and help me get up and walk a little bit. And um, it was my network that really inspired me to just, okay, I got to keep going. I got to keep going, and I got to have hope. And that's really important when we're going through the challenges in life, is that we surround ourselves with the people, and we let ourselves accept the fact that we need the care and we need the help from others, because that's not easy to do. There I was, like 31, 32 years old, and always just took care of myself, and running around playing sports. And all of a sudden I'm having to depend on all these people. It's a very hard thing to accept. So you have to let that go. You have to let the pride, whatever it is, you have to let it go and let your network and your support system help you. And by doing that and learning how to do that, really set me up for, the hope. And I had that hope. I had the perseverance to keep going to physical therapy, even though I didn't want to. My ex-husband at the time, my husband at the time, my ex-husband now. Unfortunately, our marriage didn't make it through everything that we had gone through. But you know, if it wasn't for him too, he really kept me going, and he was my voice when I couldn't speak. And it's those people that I'm so grateful for that, having them during that time, and having that support is just so important for all of us. So that's mainly what got me through. And once I started recovering, I got out of the chair, was able to go to physical therapy a couple years, regain my strength, as I said, and went back to work. My whole perspective of Western medicine um, shifted for me, and I started to have the desire to look more into the alternative care and holistic care so I could take better care of myself and prevent a relapse. I didn't want to go back to that place again. I wanted to really do what I needed to do, whatever that was, to ground me and keep me healthy. So that's when I started to go more into holistic health, and that led me into the mindfulness practice.
Wow, wonderful. Can you describe what the moment felt like when you know that I don't have to use a wheelchair any longer? How did it feel?
Oh my gosh. I just elated. I can't believe I'm getting out of this chair. I really couldn't, because I've been, with seeing others with this disease, um, which is usually, the older people, elderly people, or juvenile, um, young children. I was the only, according to my rheumatologist, it was like I was 30 something years old and with no history, no previous health history. So I was just blessed that I was able to get out of that chair, because many people don't get out of their chairs. Many people are still in their chairs, and they never are able to get off the treatment as well. And I was able to get weaned off of the methotrexate, which is a sort of chemo. So they had me on chemo and high steroids. And so I was in and out of the hospital with the side effects from those medications. But when I was able to get out of that chair and start rehabilitating, and start getting back to this quote unquote new life, you know, I I just didn't know. I was just elated, and I was just so grateful. And I knew that I had to stay on this road and do something better for my life. I knew I needed to make that turn of, reaching out for a more intentional life. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah. I,
Yes.
I I just like how you spoke, just to piggyback a little bit, that
Yeah,
how it's important that when you're going through something to have a great support system that can help you along that journey. Because yes, you're having medication and what's not, but the support system can really help you and rise you up and motivate you and give you mindset and can shape you to move forward. Is that right?
absolutely. We have to be challenged. We have to be challenged even when it hurts, even when we're crying and we just feel like there's no hope. We need those people behind us to just keep pushing us just a little bit, and eventually lifts us back up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Karen?
So the support system is so important for us because many times when we don't have that support system, we tend to blame ourselves, we tend to blame others, we tend to run down that rabbit hole, and we go to that very dark place because we feel as though we are there alone and there's no one else there for us. So it is so important when we can have a support system, because the support system becomes a foundation that we could stand on. And if one day we wake up and we don't feel the way how we feel yesterday, we could always reach out to that support system, and they're there to embrace us and support us. But many of us don't have that support system, and that could be very challenging.
It can be, yes. But when you think about it, there are people out there. You're not alone. No matter what it is that you're going through, there are other people going through that same thing. Might be slightly different, but there are people out there that you can reach out to. You know, aside from the hotlines and support systems like that, we have a beautiful place like, you know, Facebook or, you know, Instagram or LinkedIn, and you're reaching out to people, or even Meetup. You know, there's a great platform called Inspire for health and wellness communities to tap into and create connection. You know, don't be afraid. And I think a lot of the times it's just we get so stuck in that place where, you know, we just lose hope and, oh, there's no one there for us. You gotta, you know, really think about why you're feeling that way and how you can get yourself out from that and stop thinking that you are alone. You know, it's hard to turn that mindset around, but there's always that one person that, you know, whether it's a friend, family member, reach out to that person, you know, and, you know, even if it's, you know, someone that you is an acquaintance at the gym or something, you know, there's always someone that you can say, hey, you know what, you know, I have to talk about something. Do you mind, you know, having a coffee with me or whatever it is, you know? And there's always people out there to support and listen and empathize with your situation. So yeah, it's difficult to move out from, but it's a practice where, you know, you just have to really accept what's going on and be able to reach out.
Tell us about your dad.
Ah, my daddy. So yeah, so my father, my hero, he just turned 95. There he is. He's my hero.
Wow.
He just turned 95 this July, and I came back from Africa of course, to hang out with my dad for his birthday and celebrate what a life he's led. And it's, you know, he's just an amazing person. He was a retired fire captain for the Central Fire District up in the Bay Area. So he served 30 years, and he's still getting up at 4 a.m. and he's still
Wow.
going to bed right at 8, you know, just like they used to at the firehouse. But he's in great health. He is in great health. I mean, aside from the loss, you know, the bad hearing, he's good, you know, and I'm just so happy that he's thriving and you know, living his life to the fullest. And he wanted to go to the casino for his birthday. So my sisters and I and my nephews, we took him out to a casino, and we were there all day. And he just really had a good time. And I just enjoy coming. I always come. I try and come as often as I can, because it's so important to me to spend the time with him and listen to his stories, and, you know, and his jokes. The same jokes over and over again.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Love him.
That
Yes.
that is so beautiful because that part alone is it's form of an enrichment because you get to see him grow. You and your family could pour love on him because he poured
Yeah.
on you, love on you guys when you were younger and growing up, and now you can reciprocate and pour love on him. He looks like he is in great good health, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yes,
very,
he
very nice.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still practicing waking up early hours in the morning. Wow.
Yes, it's clockwork. You know, it's just clockwork. he
Wow.
tries to sleep in, but he just can't do it. He's just so used to that routine. Um, and, my mom passed away back in 2018. And, I was really worried for him, because so many, long-term relationships like that, couples, when one passes, they always say, okay, it won't take long for the other to go. But, he's got a great perspective on life. And that's something that I totally admire about my father. He's always just one day at a time kind of guy and loves everybody. And I mean, he's always helping the homeless out there. Whoever needs help, he is always there for them. And he's just a generous, warm-hearted, just gentleman, and he's just, again, my hero. And, he took great care of my mother when he could, you know, um, and I was there for the most part, as caretaker for my mother, um, through, up until her transition, of course. But he's a wonderful husband, father, friend, uncle, cousin. He's just an amazing man. And he is one of the last two. So he's one of 9 children, and he is one of the last remaining. He's only him and his brother that are left now. Um, and I'm just floored by his reactions and his um, desire to just keep thriving, just to keep going, and he's outside gardening and he's walking around the blocks and he's cooking. He cooks me ceviche. He makes the best ceviche. And he makes these persimmon cookies that are to die for. And he makes mango cookies as well. I mean, he's always doing something, doing puzzles. And he's just a lovely man. He's got this great stamp collection. And, he's just moving on. He's going up. And I'm just so grateful for him
Yeah.
and for
Yeah.
what he's taught me.
We honor him too because
Yeah.
it's life he's living and continue to live and still have this desire, the motivation, every single thing. So,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so great. That's so great.
mhm,
Yeah.
It's a
Thank
beautiful.
you.
You're welcome. And it's a beautiful thing when we still have our parents around.
mhm,
It
And
really is.
we could still talk with them. They could tell us old stories.
mhm.
Right.
It's really a nice, it's a nice
Yes.
relationship
Hmm.
It
when we can
really
have that
is.
relationship with our parents. Yes.
Yes.
And
It's
sharing
so
those times
beautiful.
with them,
Yes.
which is priceless.
Yes.
It really is. It
Hmm.
really is. And I really enjoy, hearing a lot of the stories that I have yet to hear, So I always make sure I'm making notes and things. But so I don't forget, because there's so
Right.
much to know about our family too. So it's like,
True.
our families, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah.
is. Which brings,
Angelique, Angelique, could you tell us what is living an intentional life?
Living an intentional life is living by your truth, living in alignment with your values and your beliefs. And it's basically having, adhering to a mindfulness way of life where you're strengthening the self-awareness, and you're making the choices, and doing what you want to do, aligned to those values, that whatever is important to you. Um, and it's succeeding in that, it's inviting more happiness and peace in your life by making these choices. And it's not an easy thing to do, which leads us to, our other topic, subjects. But living an intentional life is really sending out those good intentions of what you want in your life and how you want to be and how you want to show up in the world, however that is. So, and it's making that happen however you need to. So it goes into like the acceptance, which is what we're going to talk about as well. It's about setting boundaries, so, around you, so that you can, live an intentional life, because we're so influenced by our peers and our family. Of course, we're conditioned in such a way where, I, for myself, I grew up being a people pleaser. And, being the youngest of five, I looked up to my siblings, and I never wanted to upset or disappoint them. And so a lot of the times I just went along with thoughts and ideas or whatever, when it actually wasn't really mine, and as I started to strengthen my own self awareness, and practice with that, things started shifting for me. Things started coming clearer for me, and I felt good about it, and sometimes when you start to set boundaries as well, especially, relationships are going to shift. People are going to notice, that there's something different about you, and that's not always easy to navigate as well. But you have to do what you need to do for yourself, and because you are not responsible for anybody else's reactions, behaviors, judgments, whatever that might be. So it's really hard to move out from those things of like people pleasing, or the guilt, or fear of disappointing somebody. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that, and having those feelings. And it's really hard to move out from them, but it's so essential if you want to start living your life for you, and doing what makes you happy, and creating the life that you want, right? Don't you agree,
Of
Joan?
course.
Absolutely.
It's-
Do I get like a hello? Yeah.
I
Yes,
know,
yes,
100%.
yes. It is so
Yeah,
because as you rightly said, you know, people are accustomed to us as we're growing up and we build relationships. But as we start to shift and start to move and start to evolve into our own being,
hmm.
then things change in the moment. And someone they look at you and, as you said, they notice something has changed. But you are evolving, you're growing, you're
Right.
building yourself up, and which is moving to the direction that the journey for you is going to be. And sometimes they really don't understand that as well.
That's right.
So
That's right.
how do you handle that, dealing with someone and does not understand what you're accustomed to do together with them, that you no longer that no longer serves you well? How do you deal with that situation?
Well, it's about letting go as well, and that's another practice. It all comes together when we're setting boundaries, around us, that we need to put in place. And we can do that with love and kindness, with somebody who might be difficult. You can say, I understand that you're upset, or whatever it might be, but I don't deserve this, right now. Um, and I'm going to step away, or I'm going to hang up, or whatever it is. And when you're ready to talk to me as a loving, person, or whoever, friend or whatever, then I'm here for you. I love you. But I have to walk away, and I have to do this, or I have to disconnect at this point until, there's a better opportunity for us to revisit, whatever the situation is. So, it's doing it with love and kindness, and being respectful, of course. But the most important thing is being respectful for yourself, because no one's going to watch out for that. I mean, we're not responsible for their reactions and their behaviors. That's clearly something that they need to work through, right? So it says we can't make people happy all the time.
Sure.
We can't please everybody. We're
Mhm.
only responsible for ourselves. So, and there's so many, inspirational leaders out there that say the same, and it's like we say it over and over again, but really it is a practice, and that's why we call it's a mindfulness practice. With every new day, we have to just keep putting those intentions out there to do the best we can to make ourselves happy and to keep us aligned with the life that we want to live and with who we are, who we truly are. And if people don't understand that, that's okay. But they have to respect that. And if that doesn't come through, then that's something that we have to disconnect from, as hard as it might be. You never know what the future holds, but for now there's a disconnection that needs to be done. So
Yeah,
that's
yes, that that
That's
is so
true.
true, that what you're saying there, because I remember when I was going through my spiritual awakening, I had to I had to set boundaries, and I had to reach out to some friends and let them know that I'm taking this time for myself.
mm,
So if you don't see me responding to your call or responding to your messages, this is the reason why, because I'm going within myself to find myself.
right.
And I ask them to respect that,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
because at that point in time I needed to find who was Karen,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
Right.
for me to do that, I had to shut people out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
not that I wanted to do that, but I had to do it because
Right.
that's the only way I could have communicated with myself.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Other people may use other
Mm-hmm.
things to do it, but that's the way how I did it. So that's the way how I found myself, who I am. And when I emerged as a totally different person.
Right.
Right.
And when I emerged, a lot of friends, they fall away, because when I
Mm-hmm.
emerged, a lot of them could not have understand who is this new
Mm-hmm.
person.
Right.
But
Right.
it was quite okay because I was comfortable with myself, who I
Right.
have become. So they did not understand who I become, but it was okay for them to go,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I know that I'm moving into a different frequency, and I
Right.
would meet my tribe with that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Right, absolutely right. And
Yes.
I totally agree with that. And there's going to be times when, that it's hard to do, and there's going to be sadness, and there's going to be, hurt, because it's like we're birthing ourselves into like this new consciousness, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
wanting to live more intentionally, and some things are going to have to leave us. And that's another thing of part of is that we attach ourselves to certain ideas and people and thoughts and things. Even, we attach ourselves to our favorite jeans or whatever it is, and we don't have them, we're not going to live, but
Right.
it's like, yeah, but that makes it even more hurtful. We have to learn to let go of that attachment and say, okay, they're on their journey, I'm on my journey. It might not be aligned. Who knows? Maybe then in the future it might cross again.
Right.
Everything is happening for a reason. But one of the other, I saw a comment, and a Facebook user just said, meditation is also good for setting boundaries, and it is. Meditation is a wonderful tool to sit and just release and surrender the thoughts of being hurt, or just letting the worries go about what the reactions are going to be out there, you know, just letting them go and doing you, and just focusing on that. So, it's a hard journey. It's not always happy and positive like people think. Mindfulness.
No,
Oh, those people,
no,
they're always
no.
so happy and positive. No, I'm
No.
crying a lot. I'm
Yes.
working through my stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's every day is a new day, and you don't know what it's going to bring. Life is
Right.
life, but as you strengthen the self awareness, you strengthen all these different things. You can you can be challenged, but you can still get through with more ease.
Yes.
More peace. You feel, okay, I would have normally have done this, but I'm okay with that. I got to let that go. It's just the way it was supposed to be, and you start to release all of that negativity that we get so stuck in our bodies with, and that can really manifest into some, take it from me, it can manifest into some really bad physical,
Mm-hmm.
conditions, and no one wants that.
Right.
So mind over body for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How
I,
how can someone pull themselves out from a
Oh,
spiral of thoughts?
mhm,
oh, thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the monkey mind
Yes.
gets
mhm,
us every time. I know it, and it's so hard. Deep breathing works for me.
mhm,
Doing breath work, just taking a deep breath in and then holding it and then letting it go. This helps calm the nervous system. Taking a step back from whatever is stressing us out, taking out from the thoughts, um, and doing some deep breathing, meditation, just sitting in stillness for a minute, taking a walk on the beach. Because meditation is not really, it's not always just, oh, I got to take 10 minutes out of my day, sit in the corner and, I mean, that works for me, but that doesn't work for everybody. But there are
True.
different types of meditation, like there's spot meditation, and we all do this. People don't know it, but spot meditation is like if you're in your car and you're at the red light and you just kind of zone out for some reason. And you're just like, you get a honk because the light is green, right? And you're like, oh, I just kind of zoned out there. That's a bit of a spot meditation. You might not be consciously aware of it, but your mind is calming down. Your mind is taking a little rest from your thoughts and whatever else is going on in your mind. So there's that, and there's walking on the beach. There's spending time with your family. These kinds of things, are bringing calmness to you. And so by doing these things, even walking your dog, you know, um, meeting a friend for a coffee, these kinds of things can help you come down from the monkey mind. Pick up an inspirational book is one of my favorite things to do. I love reading, um, and I read all kinds of different books, and move out from those thoughts for a minute and just immerse yourself into something else, whether it's breath work, stillness, meditation, listening to music, connection. All these things are great assets to getting out from the monkey mind and calming us down a bit.
You talked about meditation. Um, a lot of people believe that, just as you said, just by just sitting alone, that's meditation, you know. But there are other ways that sometimes the sitting may not work for some people. So sometimes some people could lie in their bed and do the meditation there,
Sure.
you know.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Sometimes you could be cooking and you could be doing your meditation,
Yes.
right.
you know. So they're different. Whatever works for you, you just do it. And
Exactly.
sometimes you find that you may try sitting and you say to yourself, oh my God, these thoughts are too much, I'm not going to do this anymore, you know. You have to try different things to see which one is going to
Which
work
one?
best for you,
Yeah,
Right.
when able to connect with meditating. Don't just give
Absolutely.
up. Don't give up. Don't
No.
give up. Don't
No,
give
there's
up.
always options. There's always other things
Yes.
that you can enjoy doing, and it doesn't have to be just sitting, you know, um, in stillness. But yeah, I love that. There's just so many options.
mhm,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
John?
I know you focus a lot of intention. Tell us how important intentions are to be set on a daily basis.
Well, I think it is important because it's part of it's part of the whole mindfulness um, way of living. That you want to create something, so you have to put that intention out there, just like anything else with your work. If you want to reach a certain goal, there's steps that you have to take to get there, right? It's not going to happen overnight. So it works the same way. In the morning, if you want to put out there, you want to have a productive day, you want to focus on X, Y, and Z, and this is what I'm going to do, then that's subconsciously embedded in your mind, and that's going to take priority over some of the other things that you might have to get done during that day. So I think it's really important that you set an intention or two for the day, even if it's just to be happy, even if it's just you know um, I just I'm want to be strong and healthy, then you can do in your mind, you know that that's what your intention is. So you might pick a healthier meal that day for lunch, or you might take a walk and get some exercise in, so it's so impactful. It's really impactful. And it's a really important part of, for my daily routine, personally. So it really helps me get through my days. And it's just like, affirmations, how affirmations work, when you tell yourself, certain things. I am strong. I am productive. I am healthy. You just keep saying these things over and over. It's going to keep, because when we're growing up, our parents keep telling us the same things over and over again, right? And so it sticks in our head, right? And it's still there. And till this day, I can hear my mom, telling me certain things. And that's the same thing for giving ourselves some positive outlook, affirmations, repeating it. And the next thing you know, it's just coming naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important.
It is
Yeah.
very important. And also showing ourselves some grace.
Pardon?
Showing ourselves some grace.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I
And
love that. I love
yeah,
that.
yes, showing yourself grace indeed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
And as you rightfully said there, once we keep repeating
Mm-hmm.
these good things to ourselves, automatically when those negative is coming up, you could able to reverse it and catch it
Hmm.
and reverse it with those good stuff,
Right.
you know.
Right. Exactly. That's reframing our thought patterns, because
Right.
when we get stuck in those negative thoughts, and believe me, oh my gosh, I was just the worst. I was always thinking, oh, what if I can't do that? What if, the fears, or, I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to do that because they might get mad, or, you know, no, we got to get rid of these
Yeah.
negative thoughts,
Yeah.
and about ourselves too. It's like, oh, I'm not ready to show up yet on a video, or I'm not ready to write my book, or whatever it is. Um, you just gotta let that go and reframe those thoughts. You know
Right.
what? I have a book in me. I've always known I have a book in me. I'm going to write it. You know,
Yes.
it's just, even if it's for myself, I'm gonna go do it and tell my story.
Right.
So
And
reframing
also,
those thoughts. Hmm.
sorry, I was saying also by repeating the good stuff and infusing ourselves with good stuff, you actually nourishing your soul as well.
Right. Absolutely. And believe me, it needs a lot of nourishing. For me, I'm speaking personally, but yeah, we all need nourishment. That's when we're babies. I mean, we just need that nourishment. And as we grow, grow up, we're conditioned with all these different ideas, beliefs, and things, and we're just like bombarded with these influences. And the next thing you know, we're living a life that's not really what we want. It's
Yeah.
not really going in the
Mhm.
direction that we truly desire in ourselves, because of the other fears that's
Right.
been conditioned within us. So it took that long to get conditioned. It's going to take that long to recondition yourself out of it.
Yes.
Exactly.
But every day is a new day, and it's a practice. You just got to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward.
Tell us about, since we've seen you in March, what are the great additional leaves happening in your life?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so are you ready? How much time do we have?
Don't worry about the time. Just give it to us.
You know what? It's been a long journey. It's been an adventure. My husband and I bought a home in Ghana, and we are getting set up and ready to build a plastic recycling factory center there in the greater of Accra. So we're so excited about that, because we are we are just ready to take this plunge and do our little bit for climate change, and also to help improve and empower the communities of Ghana and across. So we are so excited about it. We broke ground, a few weeks ago, and things are getting up and ready to roll. So my husband's still out there getting everything sorted out while I spend some time on the beach for a little bit. This beach, although we have a beach there in Accra too, but yeah, I'm in San Diego now, so it's like, but
Wow.
yeah, I'll be heading back to see my father again for another visit. Um, but yeah, we're so excited about this center, and he's doing a lot of different other projects as well, for the communities, for the surrounding communities of where we are. And like developing roads and bringing working toilets to schools, and helping rehab and wellness centers, and helping fund them and get them going. And I might be doing some coaching out there as well for those clients that come in. So I'm really excited about that, and we're both really ecstatic about it. And it's going to be a new adventure. It's going to be tough, because we have our place in London as well, and we love London. That's where my husband's from, so we have our home there, and then of course our home sweet home in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's beautiful. Isn't that mean you guys are growing and continue to develop? And
Yes, yes, it is. And it takes a whole lot. I mean, talk about challenges, finding the balance all the time with us, because we're apart for so long sometimes, and then getting back together, finding the balance in the relationship can be a little challenging, but it just keeps us that much stronger. We absolutely love it. And it's just, he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, but then we're doing our thing together, and it's just really exciting, and it's keeping us going strong.
and
Wow.
you both are supporting each other, so that is what really matters.
Yes, yes, absolutely. He supports me. I'm writing my first nonfiction, which is another thing I've been up to. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I'm writing my story finally. I've been working on it for a couple of years now, but I think I found a publisher, and I'm going to be joining them hopefully this year. But so yeah, my book is basically on my journey through dermatomyositis, the trauma that brought me to that particular journey. Because we all have trauma in our lives of some sort, and that's not easy to navigate through as well. So it's about that, and then my illness, and then how I moved through it, how I got out of my chair, the lessons that I've learned all along the way through the trauma, through the illness, and now through my new life. My newfound love for holistic care and preventative care, and helping others stay empowered to do just the same. So I'm really excited to get my book done. And today I just actually accepted an invitation to write a chapter in an anthology book coming out in December for the Women in Business Club. And I'm so excited. I've been a member with them for years, but
Yeah.
this is their first anthology book. So I'm so excited. So I'll be writing for them as well. So stay tuned in December when that comes out. It's all about women entrepreneurs, women who are just making it happen, making it happen for them. We have moms, we have, all kinds of different, we have disabilities, we have all kinds of different diverse group of women entrepreneurs. And there's going to be hopefully around 15 or 20 members writing in this anthology book. So we're really excited about it, and we'll be
That's
launching
so
it.
great.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited.
My
Yeah.
God,
It,
exciting.
it's very inspiring
Yeah.
to hear you talk about your journey from since we last met in March.
Yes.
And it clearly shows us that when you practice mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things could unfold in your life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows us also that we things could happen to us, but we have to look at it with a very positive eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because when things happen to us, it's for us.
Right.
Right.
It's to help us to go into another direction.
Right.
If we sit there with what experience we're going through, and we sit there and beat up ourselves, blame people, we're not heading anywhere.
Mm-mm.
But when you could emerge from that space, whatever you may be going through at this point in time, when you could emerge from that space and know that there is something yet there to happen for you, and you're hungry for it to happen,
Yes.
it gives you the passion, that you continue going, that in spite I may be in a wheelchair, I could still do something.
Right.
In spite I am going through a divorce, I could still do something,
Right.
because when you start to implement that type of energy within, it raises you and it helps you with what you're going through to move, to shift yourself into another positive space to make
Yes.
that take off. It's
Absolutely.
We all know it's not that easy for us, but if we could only try to implement, not, I don't like to use that word try, but once we could put that in place, when we're going through different stuff, you'll see that change happening for you because your mindset is going to change.
Yes.
And once the mindset start to change, the outside start to change for you.
Right. Then
That's true.
things start falling into place.
Yes. But I think the first layer is accepting what isn't happening in front of you,
Yeah.
acknowledging what's happening. So then you can create that mindset because you acknowledge it for what it is. And then you can
Absolutely.
move forward. How
Yes,
can
Mm-hmm.
I get better? What can I do? And not let it
Right.
hit you at that
Right.
point.
Right.
yes,
Exactly. Exactly. And acceptance is a huge thing, and it's so hard for many, many of us, to let go and just accept what
yes,
is. And, we want to control everything all the time. There's just so much desire to control, and we really don't have control anything on the outside. The only thing we really can control is how we react to it
Hmm.
and how we see things, right? Our perspectives. And that's the most powerful thing that we can do for ourselves if we want to be happier, if we want to have more peace, if we want to, find joy. There's joy in everything. And there's one thing. Last week I did a support group for MSU around mindfulness, and my first topic was, what is mindfulness? And I think it's really important to let people know that mindfulness is not a religion. It's not any structured way. It doesn't follow any dogma. It's not structured at all. It's simply a state of mind. It's what you want to have in your life. It's how you want to create your life. It's how to strengthen your own self-awareness, be more aware of your thoughts, your behaviors, your reactions, tuning into your body, listening to the messages that your body is telling you. Yeah, you need to sit down, no more of this, or you need to get out there and move, or, whatever. I need a hamburger, whatever it is. So it's such it's such a powerful thing, and it's not this woo woo kind of thing that's out there. It's just simply being aware more of how you are, to yourself, and how you can change that, learn how to change those negative patterns that don't serve you, that you're only sabotaging yourself when you start to think negative thoughts, or pass a judgment on somebody, or blame another person. It doesn't serve you. What does it do to you except cause you more stress? And that stress gets in our bodies, and it just starts vibrating and vibrating and vibrating. Before we know it, you're in a wheelchair, or you you just don't know. what it can bring. Each new day is a whole new day, and every day is not guaranteed, is it? So you really have to, think about it. Think
Right.
about what you want in your life, and aspire to get that. However you need to do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So yeah,
That is
yeah.
so true. Think about what you want in your
Hmm.
Yeah, because
life.
go ahead, John.
No, you go. It's okay. Mm-hmm.
Many times, because we a lot of people come from trauma, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's difficult for people who came through trauma. They're still taking this with them,
You're right.
Right.
and they're taking it into relationships, into marriages, and it becomes such a problem because they're not healed.
Mm-hmm.
And how could someone help themselves with trauma?
Well, first and foremost, depends on the trauma. Even if it's, I highly encourage people to find professional help,
Right.
for trauma to move through that, because there's a lot of inner work that needs to be done there in order to start the healing process. Um, but other than that, it's really just getting out of the victim mode, you know, um, feeling bad for yourself, and staying in that bubble of you're a victim, right? So once you're able to let go, accept, let go, learn from it, you can start to eventually, gradually heal yourself by doing all of these things, and make doing the work that needs to be done in order to really truly let it go, so that you can open yourself up more to what you really want, which is love, happiness, joy, peace, right? All of these things. And like you said, Karen, it's like we bring that into our relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the worst thing that we can do. You have to let go of that trauma first and do the work, so that you're more open to creating a more healthier relationship, healthier work, environment. Hmm. So yeah, so it's, first get the professional help that you need, depending on the trauma, and helping, educating yourself around what you need to do personally, what you can do, and that's getting through, again, the victim mode, and learning to heal yourself in all those other realms of acceptance and letting go,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
And
Right.
also, to add another layer to that, is surrounding yourself with the right kind of people.
Yeah. Who is in your circle?
Right,
Because
absolutely.
many times we are going through certain things in our lives, and the people we surround ourselves with only make it worse,
Right.
Hmm.
because they're not telling you nothing to uplift you.
Right,
They're telling you the things to keep you at that state.
right.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're going through, you need to find a support system whereby it's going to able to lift you up, not keep you down there. Because when you mix with the people who are just like you,
Hmm.
that there's where you're going to stay.
That's
Exactly.
exactly it. Yeah.
You got to look for people who it's above, and they were able to bring you up, is
Mm.
lift you up from that state that you're in. They were able to take their hands and move you up, you know.
Yeah.
So that is what we need to do. Whatever you may be going through at this point in time, look for persons who are going to lift you up.
Like-minded people who can support you and
Exactly,
evolve
exactly.
from
Because
this.
many days, we had a show with Yermi. Many days, we are walking around in a mental prison. He called it a mental prison too,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Hmm.
many days we turn up at work. It's just our bodies there, but our mind is not there. Our mind
Hmm.
is totally somewhere else,
Right.
and because of that we cannot function. Many people are in a relationship. It's just the physical, the mind is not in that relationship. The mind
Right.
is somewhere else.
They're out
And
of their
because,
bodies. Hmm.
Yes.
exactly. And
Yes.
because of that, you cannot function properly, you know? So
Yeah.
if you're that person, you need to get help, because your life is just going, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just there going in a circle all the time,
Mhm. Right.
you know?
Right.
And you need to reach out and get help, because there's a lot of people out there who are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because
Hmm.
then you want to live your true essential self, the best version of yourself, and continue. I think mostly also to keep your cup filled, because
Yes.
Right.
so much of ourselves all the time, and then we drain. But if we keep our cup filled, then we can also pour and not be.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because many times and also we have to be careful with the relationships that we attach ourselves to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times people, you might have a friend, but the friend only comes to drain.
Right.
So if you don't have that fuel, and every time somebody is just coming to take from you, what is going to happen to you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're gonna stay stuck.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true, and it's like, those friends that think, that we think understand us, that really don't, and they're really validating our own negative thoughts. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's just making our negative thinking even that much stronger,
Right.
because those friends of ours that, are feeding it, like you say, and our thoughts are just getting worse and worse and worse. And oh my gosh, it is true. And that's another thing. It's like we believe our thoughts so strongly, and we don't even know the truth of it, do we? We make assumptions, right? We take it
Right.
personal.
Yes.
Then we react to that. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, it's like, that's not even what it was. It's like, I created all this drama, and for what? It wasn't even true.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh, or so
Right.
it's really about, okay, letting go. This, what is the truth? Do I really know that it's true?
Right.
It's like doing the
True.
work of Byron Katie. I absolutely love her. It's judge thy neighbor, and you're turning it around back onto you.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I actually thinking? What am I actually struggling with? I need to
Right.
work this out. It's not about that other person. This is about me and what I'm
Right.
having to work through, what
Right.
I need to pay attention to with my mind, with my thoughts, or with whatever it is, right? And it's hard to face yourself. We just want to blame. Oh, it was so and so or whatever. We want to blame, but because that's the easiest thing to do.
Right.
We
Absolutely.
we can't look in, because we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to face our faults, do we?
Yes. Yeah. And many times we run from it. And
Right.
once you keep running, it's going to keep showing up.
Yes. Other places.
Yeah,
It's going to keep showing.
absolutely. It's chasing you. It's
Yeah.
chasing you. It's like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Does
going to
anybody know
get
who
you.
Freddy Krueger is? Am I too old or?
It's going to get you, because
Mm-hmm.
once we have to own up to it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I normally say to people, you got to
you
own
have
up,
to own it,
you
right?
Yes.
know? Because it's only when we own up to it and be true to ourselves, then
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
is when the change can happen.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
You gotta own up to it. You gotta sit with yourself. You gotta own it. And
Yes.
once you own it and surrender and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
acceptance, there is
Mm-hmm.
where the magic happens.
Are you
That's it.
listening, people?
That's
Are you listening?
that's it. That's it. Right
There
there.
is where the magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. It really does. It is just the most powerful thing.
It's the
Yeah.
Yes.
most thing.
And in spite of what you may going through at this point in time, be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show yourself love, show yourself compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Patience.
Don't beat up
Yeah.
yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Because when you do that, it's not going to make it It's not
No,
going to make it anywhere different.
you don't
Right.
feel bad.
You know, you
Absolutely.
got to tell yourself, you know what, I'm going through this at this point in
Mhm.
time, but I'm willing to work on myself
Yes.
to make that change.
And
The
to move forward.
willingness. It's the
It's
willingness.
the
Absolutely.
willingness.
Willingness.
It's the
Yeah.
willingness. I am willing to work on
Mhm.
myself to make that change. And we
Right.
was coaching somebody yesterday, and I said to her in the coaching session, I said to her that start to speak healing over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Stop giving the disease a name,
Don't name it.
because when you keep fuel that disease, it's only gonna stay there with you.
That's
Right.
right.
Start to tell yourself, when somebody asks you, how are you doing? I am healing.
Yes. I
I
love
am
that.
work right.
Yes.
I am working on my healing. My
Mm-hmm.
body is healing at this point in
Mm-hmm.
time. You know, because when we start to name these diseases, you're only keeping it within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's so
because
true.
once you name it, you're claiming it.
You
Right.
know,
Once you
Well,
name
I
it, you
love that, Joan.
exactly.
I love
yeah,
that, Joan.
name it, you claim it.
Yes. So
So
we
you're not
need to,
oh,
exactly. So we need to start to shift away.
thank
Like when somebody asks, "Oh my God, this migraine headache." No. When in spite that you're going through that, you need to tell the person, you know what? I'm healing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you speak those words, you're taking yourself on the healing frequency.
Right. Right.
But when you continue repeating what is happening, repeating it all the time, you're giving it more energy to stay there with you.
Right. Absolutely, you are.
and when you say it, you just don't want to say it in just the easy. You want to say it and repeat it with a level of confidence and just have a sense of knowing
Yes.
Yeah.
that healing is what I'm
Right.
working on my healing, or healing is however you want to phrase it.
Yes.
You want to say it so definitively
Yeah.
Right.
that
You have
when
to
you
believe it.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have to truly believe it. And it's a law of
Yes.
attraction.
Yes.
It's a law of attraction.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have
That-
to tell a quick story really quick about the
Yes.
law of attraction. I watched the movie The Secret like years ago when it first came out.
right.
And I'm thinking, this is like the beginning of my mindfulness journey, right? The beginning of, my whole transition into this way of thinking, and I'm listening to it and I'm thinking, wow, I wonder if this really works. The manifestation,
Right.
how we put our thoughts out there and making it come to fruition, right? So I was just newly divorced and I was living on my own and, on a budget. And I went through, I was eating fast food and I stopped at like a Burger King, right? And I'm in the drive through and I'm thinking I'm like my $10 and I'm thinking, you know what? I shouldn't be spending this money on fast food. I should just eat at home. I have food at home, but I was already in the line and I'm thinking, man, I shouldn't do, I just kept thinking I shouldn't be spending this money. So I go up, I get my food and the gentleman takes my 10, gives me back my change. And I start to drive off and I look down for some reason. I'm looking at the change before I put it in my car thing. And it's the change plus my $10. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he didn't take the $10. And I'm thinking the universe gave me back my $10 and my change and and then some. I'm like, oh my God, it works. I was a firm believer, right? Of course, I went back and I gave him the $10. I said,
Right.
you accidentally, he's like, oh, thank you, but
Yes.
I mean, just like that. I mean, I was like, okay, I'm a believer.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
It's that putting that frequency out there, like you say, and it might not happen right away, but it will eventually show up.
Consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because many times we we set an intention, but when we set the intention, we want it happen like now, right
Yeah.
now, this
Right. It
minute.
doesn't work like that.
Don't work.
Like for
Yeah.
me,
Don't work like
I was like, oh, yeah.
it
Yeah.
don't work like that. It don't work like that, because remember, all the time you're being conditioned and you're now stepping away to set yourself on that frequency for what you're looking to have. So you got to work on bringing yourself up to
Yes,
that level,
you do. Yeah,
before the manifestation start to happen for
that's
you,
right. That's right.
So sometimes you may say, oh, I want this thing, and you expect it tomorrow, and when you don't get it tomorrow, you drop off the frequency.
Right.
It's not going to work that way. It don't work that way.
No, no, no. It doesn't
You
happen
got to
overnight.
stay on that
Yeah.
frequency.
Yes. Yes. Very important point. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely, you do.
you have to
Yeah.
stay on that frequency, because when you stay on that frequency, that's the only way manifestation is going to take place for you.
That's
Mhm.
right. That's right. You can't be
Yeah.
in and out. You can't
No,
be
no,
in.
no, no. You can't zone in and out. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see it today. Tomorrow you wake up, oh my God, it didn't happen yesterday. I wonder why it didn't happen yesterday. No,
Right. Right.
that's not
Yeah.
the right attitude. No,
Exactly.
no, no,
Mhm.
I
no.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Great. Well, Angelique, it was a pleasure.
My God, amazing.
So much fun. So much fun as always.
Yes, I
Yes.
know. It was such a pleasure to have you here this evening, and for your inspiring stories, your
Oh my God. Yeah.
inspiring words,
God.
telling us about manifestation, mindfulness,
Mhm.
boundaries, relationship.
Yeah. It all has to play. It's life.
It
It's
It's
does.
life.
it is. It's
Yeah.
life. It's life.
Yeah.
And we all need to hear these messages, because it helps us also with our own lives and our
Mhm.
own relationship with ourselves and with
Right.
others.
Absolutely. And if
Mhm.
there's others out there and that are listening right now, and watching, you're not alone. You can always,
Right.
reach out to us three. We're crazy ladies, but hey, we're there for you. We got you. And
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes.
let us be a part of your network.
Yes. And all your
Yes.
information is in the link.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I'm always
Yeah.
happy to
All,
connect with everybody and share experiences and stories. And so, yeah, don't hesitate.
reach
Yes.
out to the link.
We are
Yes.
always here, and feel free to reach out. Reach out, because a lot of times we tell ourselves we are alone. There is nobody out there who is going to help us. And all these stories keep playing in your head, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And once you could get out from that headspace with
Yeah,
those stories and reach out, there are people out there who will help you.
right.
Hmm.
We are here. Reach out to us. We are here to help.
We're here.
You know,
Yeah.
take advantage of it. Reach out.
Yes, absolutely. We have to stay connected, all of us, because
Yes.
we have to support it and keep empowering each other, and that's
Yes.
how we get through it all. And that's how I got, where I am at today. If it wasn't for
Yes.
my network of you ladies, of all of the communities that I'm a part of, all my friends and family, it's just, it's just amazing. And,
Yes.
it keeps us up and,
Yes.
thriving.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
Exactly.
important
Exactly.
part. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. There,
That.
there is a tribe out there that you could find, that you could connect with
Mhm.
and bond with,
Yes.
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know, to
Yes.
lift you up. There is a tribe for you out there.
Yes.
All you need to do is to just reach out and find that tribe,
Right.
Yes.
to be
Right.
your support system.
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I
Yeah.
just want to thank all the viewers today for taking the time to join us today. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your beautiful comments.
Yes.
Thank you for taking that moment and stepping out and being yourself,
Hmm.
because I know there is light in you.
Yes.
I know there is a gift in you.
Hmm.
I know that you can manifest anything that you want in your life.
Yes.
Anything you want, you can manifest in your life. And just like how you could do it for the good, the bad too. So you got to be careful with the thoughts.
Absolutely.
That's very
Yes. You
important.
gotta
Yes.
be specific.
Yes.
Exactly. You got to be specific.
Hmm.
Yes. Don't think general.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You
You
might
got to
not
be
know what you get.
specific. Yes.
Right.
One thing I'm going to leave with you guys before I go, get a vision board. get a vision board. Put all the things on that vision board you're looking to accomplish in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Nothing is too big to put on that vision board. Write everything out on that vision board and leave it there. Don't think about how it's going to happen, where the money is going to come from. That's none of your business. Leave it to the universe and keep on that frequency. Whatever you write on that board, keep on that frequency, and it's going to manifest in your life. That's your takeaway.
Look at it. Just read it and look at it at least once a day, because you want to.
Yes, I was just going to say,
Yes, you want to add life. Yes,
Yeah.
just you write it and just don't leave it there. Nurture it. Feed it.
If you're in a home whereby there's so much of people and their negative energies, put it in your journal.
Or on your phone.
On your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it every day. When you're in the toilet, if it comes to that, look at it. When you're in the toilet, take your phone and look at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you have to find different ways.
That's right. Absolutely.
Right. You cannot allow the negative energies around you to hold you back from where you want to go. So you got to find ways to win. You know? Yes, you got.
And I know you're all winners. You're all winners out there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's a winner inside you.
Yes. And you're special and you're unique and one of a kind.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We love you. And
hi, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
Yes, Sandra, in the comments.
Caroline Thomas, thank you. Jalen, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us today.
We got
Thank
Carl.
you so much. Thank you.
Stay mindful.
Yes. Stay mindful.
Stay mindful.
Thank you guys so much. Love you.
Thank you, Angelique. Bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah, I gotta go too.